Hello, it's Monday. I've been really rubbish and it's 2:30 and I haven't updated you at all. Basically, I had a doctor's appointment this morning, so I went to that. Then I came home, and what I've been doing basically since then is a little bit of reading my thesis, having Word read it aloud to me so I can listen to it. And also I've been starting on some flashcards for some Viva questions, just because it's kind of fresh in my mind at the moment, and I was having a conversation with my supervisors about setting up like a mock. So I just wanted to get a bit of a jump start on that. As well as that, I've been sort of thinking about the possibility of dividing my project into papers. So my supervisor kind of suggested that I use the downtime between submission and Viva to really sort of focus on making some rough plans for like papers and projects and conference presentations and things like that. I think it'd be a really good opportunity to do that while I'm just sort of passively kind of taking things in. Like, I don't want to overdo it with the Viva revision, because I think there's definitely a case for being not too over rehearsed. I'd like things to be pretty natural. I've definitely had situations before in things like interviews where I've like over practiced and I've made myself a bit too formulaic in my discussion. So I want to be quite like free and natural. So I don't want to, all that to say that I don't want to like overdo my revision. So yeah, I'm just thinking ahead a bit about all the things that I can do. I've got 10 days until I submit. I submit next Thursday, which is really exciting. It's half term from my teaching job and from the classes that I dance at. We still have rehearsal on Thursdays. We don't observe the half terms in that group, but everything else I haven't got. So it's quite a chill week all round, and I am going to really like make the most of that relaxation time, I think, if I possibly can. I'm taking part in a friend of mine's eye tracking study tomorrow. So she does like really interesting work with exactly that, eye tracking in linguistics. It's really fascinating stuff, and I'm going to be one of her participants. I did a different project for her before, and it was really interesting. I was just so fascinated. I just sort of kept asking, like, so what does this tell us? Like, what does this mean? She obviously wouldn't tell me until afterwards, but really fascinating. And then, yeah, that's kind of it. I haven't got much in the plans. Just a pretty relaxing week, doing some bits of prep. Yeah, that's it. So I have just sort of sat here and written out some flashcards with Viva questions. I've got this many, which is quite a lot. I've got them sort of from a number of places. Basically, I went through my thesis as I was doing it, and I also was looking at a document that my supervisor gave me about Vivas in the social sciences, and also a document that a friend of mine, Sophie, gave me when she was doing her Viva, which has got some like explicit questions. So it's not sort of like types of questions like my supervisor gave me, but it's like specific examples that she was given. So I've like sort of picked bits from everywhere, and I've added to that, I guess, with specific questions about my own project as I've gone through. So I've gone through thinking like, okay, if I was examining this, what would I pick up on? Or I've thought like, what are some things that I'm not totally convinced of or totally sure of myself, and how can I be sure of them? Because you can just guarantee that I'll be asked about all of that. And yeah, so that's what I've been up to. I'm pretty happy with what I've got done today, so I'm gonna call it a day there for a bit, maybe take a little break. I'm going to bake a cake. I'm in the office tomorrow, so thought I'd make something to take in. I'm gonna do a lemon drizzle cake, I think. So I've had a very exciting parcel arrive. This should be my printed thesis, so we'll see how this turned out. I don't know if it's like printed okay, if it's kind of gone all right. I uploaded a PDF, so it should be, in theory, fine, but this is my sort of live react, if I can get into it. Oh, here she is. Isn't that exciting? Oh, wow. This is amazing. I feel so legit. This is my thesis. Guys, I wrote a thesis. This is so exciting. It looks so like legit. This looks like an actual proper, like, I'm about to submit it thesis. Wow, this is insane. This is crazy. Wow. All 380 pages of it. That's amazing. I got it printed, if anyone's wondering, through a company called Print Pond. They were really good, really helpful. And this has arrived like 2 days earlier than it was meant to, so double bonus. Yeah, this is so exciting. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this printed copy, which is very heavy, by the way. I'm going to use this printed copy to make my notes in. This is the one that I'm going to be taking into the Viva, so I'm going to make like notes in it, put little tabs in it for like key sections, mark the chapters, like where they start and end, and things like that, just so that it's like really easy to navigate through. But yeah, this is so exciting. Oh my goodness. I wrote a thesis! Good morning, happy Wednesday. It is 9:30 on Wednesday, the 19th of February. I'm handing in next Thursday, so almost there, just over a week. I've come to the office. I brought my absolutely massive thesis. Turns out it's quite heavy to carry on your back, and I'm basically going to go through it until anyone else comes in. I'm going to listen to it out loud, and I'm going to just read through for like errors and things like that. I'm hoping there's going to be like quite a few people in today. It'd be nice to see some people. Wednesday's a pretty busy day in the department, so it'd be good to see people. Anything else to update you on? I don't think so. My life's a bit boring at the moment. It's just sort of a bit of a cycle of read, write, read, write. I'm starting to think about possible like postdoc options and postdoc projects. I'm going to have a chat with my supervisor about that. So that's my current kind of state with what next. I do keep getting asked that at the moment by family. I dropped you, sorry. As I'm saying, I do keep getting asked at the moment by family and friends, like, what are you going to do next? What's the next step? I'm fortunate that my supervisor has offered me a short-term research assistantship. So I'm going to be with her for a few months, just working on a project of hers, which is really exciting. And then beyond that, I'm going to hopefully be I'm going to be making an application for postdoctoral funding. And I'm hoping that I can get sort of research assistantships, bits of dance teaching, cobble things together for sort of a year until I can hopefully, fingers crossed, start a postdoc. That's the plan anyway. I mean, we'll see. Obviously things don't always go to plan, but that's the idea. So that's my current thinking. So you can stop asking, Dad. Is this or is this not the ultimate academic biscuit? There's a whole load of these in the next door break room from a kind of conference workshop thing that's been going on, and I can just see myself like nipping in a few times and just like grabbing a couple and coming back. I've even got myself a coffee so that I can dip it in. I'm having a whale of a time, to be honest. I'm having the time of my life. I'm gonna go and dip my coffee, dip my, you know what I mean, dip my biscuit into my coffee, and carry on with my thesis. I'm almost done with the lit review.
Model. Learning as a process is not separated from the becoming of the learner. Farnsworth et al., 2016. Page 7.
So I'm back at home now. It is 3:30. So I did some work in the office, and then when I was feeling a bit chilly there, I decided to come home. So I've come home, I've been to the shops on my way home, got some stuff for dinner, and I'm basically sat down at my kitchen table, and now I'm doing the same thing I was earlier, listening to my thesis out loud and reading through it. I'm up to page 76, so it doesn't sound like a lot, but I've been stopping at every reference, for example, to make sure that I've got it in the bibliography as well, which is a good thing. I have done that because I've missed a couple here and there, so I'm glad that I'm going through and checking. I also got an exciting parcel today. I got this book, which is a floristry book. It's Jane Packer's Flower Course, which is quite a I don't want to say famous, it's quite a well-known book that's got a load of different floristry arrangements in it. Basically, when I was at school, I did floristry classes. It was part of my timetable, and I really miss it. I really enjoyed it. I had such a good time. Quite a few people from my school actually went on to become florists. I see their photos pop up quite a lot, and I always think I'd love to get back into it. And anyway, this is I remember this is quite a significant book for a lot of people who have been in floristry. This is quite often recommended as a good introductory kind of level book. And I believe she has quite a few. She's a famous florist, and yeah, she's pretty good. So she gives different sections. There's a section on flowers for around the house. There's a section on flowers for gifting, flowers for different themes, and then she talks about various arrangements, how you can make them. So for example, grouped vases of different heights is this one. So she'll give you some images and some instructions for ways that you can do that. And yeah, just sort of looking through it is reminding me of quite a lot of things that I'd forgotten about. So this one, for example, she's basically she's taping over the top of this massive pot. I don't know if you can see, taping over the top of this massive pot so that she can arrange the flowers in individual slots. That was something we used to do when I was at school, and I'd completely forgotten that was a thing. So it's really nice to kind of see this stuff again and be reminded of it. Yeah, using twine, using oasis fix, centerpieces, things like that. Yeah, it's just all stuff that I haven't really thought about or done for a while, and I'd like to maybe take the time to go back to it. Yeah, hopefully that can be something that I pick back up maybe when I've got a little bit of rest time after the thesis is in. So yeah, I'm going to have a flick through that. I thought it'd be a really nice coffee table book to have as well. It's just so beautiful. Look at that. So yeah, that's my current plan. Good morning. It is Thursday, the 20th of February. I'm exactly a week away from submitting, so I have 7 days. I'm going to continue going through my thesis because it's been really slow going because I've been checking every single reference, every single page number, things like that. So this is how far I got yesterday. I'm hoping that today and tomorrow I can get through the rest of the thesis. I'm going to play it out loud still, go through it. Every time there's a reference, I'm going to check it. And just make sure that everything lines up, and hopefully that'll put me in a really good position to hand it in a week, which is crazy. I set exactly a time for my submission as well, because some of my friends in the department have been really lovely and have said they want to come in for it and have asked me when I'm going to do it. So I've said that I'm going to submit next Thursday at 3 p.m, which is terrifying. But yeah, so I'm just going to crack on with that today. It's very strange. It feels so weird to be so nearly done, and to be sort of yeeting myself into that kind of in-between time where I'm just going to be Viva prepping, paper writing and things like that. I've got some meetings set up with my supervisors pretty much the week after, so I'm hoping to crack on with some things while I've still got some momentum, and also of course take some downtime. That's important as well. But I don't want to lose momentum either, so it's kind of like a swings and roundabouts situation. But yeah, that's the current plan. I have rehearsal later today because it's Thursday. And it's one of our group members' birthday today. So I think we're having like some cake and some bubbles and things like that. So that'd be really nice. I'll try and remember to film like at least a little bit of that, which I probably will forget. And yeah, then tomorrow is Friday, so I'm going to carry on with this tomorrow as well. It should be a pretty chill week. It's half term, so I'm not teaching on Saturday. I haven't had class this week, so yesterday I didn't have class. I just stayed in and chilled and read. And yeah, it's just been a really lovely bit of time off, bit of downtime. Yeah. So it's now almost 4:30. I'm about to leave to go to rehearsal, which is why I look like this, and I've got my hair sort of scraped back. I got quite a lot done. So I'm partway through chapter 6, so I've got sort of 2.5 chapters left to review before I can hopefully sort of lock everything in. Yeah, it's going well. I'm really pleased. I'm going to head off to rehearsal now, and yeah, hopefully all's going to be okay. It's going to be a good night. Really looking forward to doing some more new repertoire today. We're going to learn some new solos, and I think we're going to finish up on all the group quarter ballet pieces for Paquita, I think. So yeah, hopefully it should be a really good session. Good morning, happy Friday. It is just about 10. I'm a bit later coming in today. I had a bit of a lie-in just because I had rehearsals. My fringe has gone funny. Just because I had rehearsals yesterday, finished late, so I just thought I'd give myself a bit of time just to rest. It is half term after all. I've got my thesis with me. I'm gonna continue going through, just cut myself on it, as if the pain it has given me hasn't been enough. Where am I? I am 190 pages in out of 380. So, I mean, it's getting there. I'm hoping to finish this read through today and sort of be able to park it and just sort of say, okay, that's done. I also need to, so I've got a new teaching job, which is, it's a new job, but it's an old job kind of. So the first school that I ever taught at, whilst I was still training to be a teacher, are in need of a ballet teacher, a head of ballet, and my boss sort of reached out to me and said, are you available? And fortuitously, I am, because I'm wrapping up the thesis, so I'm starting there next week. But all this to say that at that school they do progressing ballet technique, which is a really interesting set of strengthening, conditioning exercises that use things like resistance training, use things like exercise balls to help students understand the technique required in ballet and what muscle groups they're using and things like that. Point is, all this to say that my boss is very kindly paying for me to get certified so that I can continue their PBT classes. So I have to also be working on that. You can do it online, which is what I'm going to be doing. And yeah, I need to crack on with that because I think there's 6 or 7 modules, and I would like ideally to have them done certainly before Easter, but hopefully within the next month or two. I'd like to get that sort of out of the way. So yeah, I'm keen to start working on that maybe this weekend and maybe next week when I've sort of parked the thesis. I don't want to spend too much time on the thesis beyond this read through because I think that I'll start doing silly things and making silly edits and panicking. So I want to park it as soon as possible. So hopefully this weekend I'll kind of lock it, PDF it, and sort of just say that's done. Maybe give it one more read over just for formatting and just a brief glance over, but basically be done with it. And I'm sure that in this read through I'll catch probably 80-90% of my typos and errors. some are still going to slip through. I'm sure there's going to be some that I see, like when I start to Viva prep and I start looking at it again, I'll think, oh, there's a typo. So, 10 or 20% are going to show up afterwards anyway, and I don't want to freak myself out. But yeah, that's the plan. I don't have teaching tomorrow, so I'm really looking forward to having a bit of a chilled weekend for half term. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, that's the plan.
They learned their floor patterns. Reviewers verbalized noticing and initiation of the recruitment process, indicating that this may be beneficial for her. This collaborative achievement is further developed by Anna, another cast member present in the dancing steps, as she upgrades Naomi's general assessment.
So I've not long been home. It's 3:07 and I've just finished my full read through of my thesis. Basically, I've done all my edits. Now I'm going to just sort of park it and not sort of look at it again. I think it's done, which is kind of terrifying. I'm handing it in 6 days. So I think I am just going to format it over the weekend, then PDF it, lock it, get everything sort of ready. And that'll be done. I also had some good news today. So I applied at the invitation of my supervisor to a prosody group that's it's meant to be like a small group of early career researchers that are all working within like interaction studies, and it's about raising and developing our skills and abilities in prosody. So prosody has been something that I've not really like focused on massively within my project. It's come up here and there. My supervisor sort of sent me an invitation. It was all very kind of like mysterious. So she sent it and sort of said, oh, we're sending out personalized invitations, so please don't like share this widely. However, would you like to join this group? And so like each person who's like a leader in this group has invited like one of their students or their postdocs or whatever to join, which is like, I was saying to my boyfriend, it feels a bit like I'm in like Throne of Glass or Kingsman, like one of these things where like each experienced person brings like their champion, and like I feel like when I'm gonna have to like battle to the death over prosody, it feels a bit strange, but I'm looking forward to that. I got approved. We had to write an expression of interest and kind of explain why we were interested in taking part, and I did that at the end of last month. So yeah, I'm pleased that I've got in on that. I think it'd be really valuable for me. There's some really like eminent people running it, so including my supervisor, so I'm really pleased about that. So yeah, with the rest of my day, I'm going to get started on my progressing ballet technique training. I've got like a couple of hours until the end of the workday, so that should give me time to get a good head start on that. And yeah, that's it.
More often on like a Saturday or something.
So it's still Saturday, the football's on in the background because Jack's watching it, but I'm pretty sure that my thesis is ready, so I'm going to like PDF it and lock it and say it's done. I'm not looking at it anymore. I've read through it, I've checked it. I'm just going to go through for formatting one more time, make sure that everything's like on the right page, nothing's kind of jumped around like it does in Word, and then I'm going to lock it, and that's going to be that. I'm going to keep it ready for submission in 5 days now. Scary. Okay, so I'm going to call it Final Thesis NS 2025 and lock it. I have to lock it this way because it's so massive that if I don't do it via the print screen, it won't lock. Okay, it's done. So it's locked, I've done it, it's completely done, it's here. Yeah, feels really, really strange. Just as I was going through it then, I noticed a couple other typos. So I will have just one final kind of zoom through it, but I do think I've got like most things. It's in the right place, it's all formatted correctly, and I'm pleased with it, I think. So yeah, I'm done. I'm going to submit it on Thursday. I'm going to give it a few days away from it and then come back to it for a final just skim through before I submit, probably Thursday morning, just to really check. And yeah, I'm also going to do a test send of it because it's too big to send in an email, so I need to upload it to like a file sharing system privately. and then share it with the research degrees team that way. So I just want to really make sure that that works. Otherwise it'll be a bit anticlimactic. But yeah, so I'm going to finish off this vlog here. It seems a good place to finish. Thank you for watching if you're still here. Yeah, it's done.